Who's Behind the Mask by Helen Mao. It was March 2020. I just got laid off and COVID-19 was spreading everywhere, making people sick. The world was shutting down. And I, like a lot of people, was at home wondering what was going to happen next.
Hey, Ellen.
Hey, Dorothy, what's up?
Did you see this video? A hospital in the Midwest called Deaconess shows you how to sew fabric face masks.
Fabric face masks?
Yeah, they're encouraging people to sew and donate masks.
What? Wow, this must be serious if a hospital is asking people to sew and donate masks.
No.
So I asked on Facebook if anyone else heard about sewing fabric face masks.
Yes, I did too. I spoke with a supply coordinator at Montgomery General Hospital. She said they don't usually use cloth masks, but their PPE supplies are pretty low, so they would be grateful for donations. They give cloth masks to support staff and patients, as they can use the N95 masks for healthcare personnel with direct contact with patients.
Really?
Yeah, I'm about to pull up my sewing machine out of the basement and fire it up for the first time in years. I hope it still works.
Yeah, I think mine does. I also heard from other hospitals like Suburban, Holy Cross, and UMD Medical Center. They all could use and need cloth mask donations too. So, sewers, let's do it.
And that's how the Only Mask project got started. I'd cleaned out all my fabric last year, so I posted a call on Facebook for cotton cloth and elastic. Lo and behold, donations came flooding in. Some people had lots of unused fabric they were all too happy to unload. Others just didn't have time to sew between juggling working at home and homeschooling their kids.
Hey, quiet out there. I'm trying to work in here. No, I can't help you with your quadratic equations right now. What are you, crazy?
But my teenagers didn't want or need any help from me, and I had no job. So I dove into this project. I killed two birds with one stone, exercising and gathering materials. I hiked all over town, picking up fabric and elastic donations. And then I walked around again to drop off fabric and elastic to other people sewing masks. Then I finally dusted off my old Singer, and luckily it still worked. I sewed masks for my kids' pediatrician office, the post office, a veterinary office, a nursing home, a local fire department, even my physical therapist, who's a huge Elvis fan. Then, on April 3rd, the CDC recommended that everyone wear a mask.
Hello, I hear you're collecting donations and sewing masks. Well, I have quite a bit of fabric, and I'm willing to give it all to you if you make me a few masks. If you can't, I'll give you just a little fabric and keep the rest and see if I can find someone else to make me some.
Well, I can make you a few, but right now I'm focusing on hospitals and other essential workers. I think I'll pass on your offer now, but how about I keep your contact information in case I need more fabric in the future? In the meantime, see if someone else can sew your mask sooner. In a week or so, I'll check back to see if you still need some masks and if you still have any fabric.
Oh, never mind. You can have all my fabric. Just make me a few masks.
Okay. I wanted to help, so I agreed to sew her 3 masks. I drove 15 minutes to her place to pick up her fabric donations, only later to discover they were unusable polyester blends. but I told her I would sew her masks, so I did.
Hey, Ellen, thanks for the mask, and guess what? I just got my order of 100 yards of elastic. I know elastic is hard to find these days, and I just want to help out. Do you want it?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I drove over to a place again to pick up the elastic while maintaining social distancing, of course. Just as Janet tossed the spool to me from her front door, I heard,
By the way, my neighbor and her kids need masks. Can you sew another 6?
what could I say? She was giving me a lot of elastic, which had become as valuable and rare as toilet paper. 6? Okay. So I went home and sewed 6 more masks for her neighbors, all while also trying to finish one for dentists, health aides, and other people who probably needed them more. Late one night, I was at my machine, stitching away, when...
Hi, Ellen. I have a great idea. I know plenty of people who need masks. Why don't you start charging for your masks? Say $5 a piece, $6, $8. What do you say? I can be your salesman.
My salesman? What was I? Vandalay Industries?
I can find lots of customers for you. I'll be like your dealer.
My dealer? Was I making meth now? Then again, I did have no job. Some money would be nice. Maybe I should start peddling masks and... Wait, what am I doing? I started sewing masks because I like to sew and I wanted to do something to help during this crazy time. I could donate the masks to hospitals and other places that could use them. And to be honest, sewing also gave me an excuse to catch up on YouTube videos and binge watch Netflix shows. Did I really want to take advantage of this pandemic and cash in on the demand for masks?
Do you? This is a mitzvah we are doing to help the community here.
And besides, what about the fact that people gave you fabric and elastic so that you and others could make masks for donation?
I did see online that some people who got donated fabric from me were actually selling the masks they made.
What is he looking at? Come on.
Busted. Yeah. I took some of the fabric Ellen collected after telling her I would donate all the masks I made. But then I sold them instead.
Well, maybe those people lost their jobs.
And needed the cash.
I was lucky. I had lost my job, but my husband didn't, so I didn't need to turn my mask operation into a business. So I replied to Janet. Thanks for your offer to be my mask salesperson, but no thanks. Right now, I'm going to focus on sewing masks for hospitals and other essential workers.
Oh, darling, no problem. I understand. But since you're focusing on masks for essential personnel, can you make 50 masks for my town's fire department? Last year, they rescued my cat from a tall tree. Make 50 masks, but don't deliver them to the firehouse. Bring them here, and I'll take the masks down to the firehouse myself to show them my appreciation.
Was she serious? Okay, by this time, I had had enough. Janet, I am sorry, but I can't sew 50 masks for your town's fire department. I need to prioritize my town's hospital and essential workers. I haven't even had a chance to make any masks for my family yet. Thank you for all the elastic and unusable fabric that you donated. And since I can't make masks for you to sell or donate and take credit for, Why don't I return whatever elastic and fabric I didn't use? Then maybe you can find someone else who'll sew masks for you to sell and for you to give your fire department. I wondered how she would take that.
Huh. Oh, honey, no problem. You keep all the elastic and fabric. Thank you for all you've done.
And that was the last I heard from Janet. Thank God. This pandemic proved so many cliches. No good deed goes unpunished. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Tough times bring out the best and the worst in people. People are selfless and think of others. People are selfish and think only of themselves. These sayings are all true. I found that people want to help others, but they also need to survive. Generosity and self-preservation go hand in hand. It's hard to feel generous if you're just trying to survive. But if you have what you need to survive, you have enough to be generous to others.